So 4:03 on the 27th, Wednesday, which now it's a week. By this time next week, I will be at the airport. That you can really see them in the garage. Sometimes I don't know. I just don't notice, but stuff hanging there. I was like, what is that? It's got this, but it's one of those. I think it's a leash. Yeah, it's a leash that has that thread intertwined, so it glows in the dark while you're out walking your dog. So, anyways, another day in the garage. But anyways, I think that the days of the garage are, I don't think I'm going to be here in another winter. I think things are going to be changing here soon. But and there's something on the horizon, but we'll see. I think it's gonna, but I'll know more soon, and then I'll talk about it more. But but anyways, things are weird as usual. I took that video, that TikTok down. I couldn't even stand it anymore. It was just nonstop. And when I would go check, it was like bots. I was being attacked by bots all day long. And they would tell me that, I can't even tell you how many times that they came in and told me that I look like leather. Go get some sunscreen. Why don't you try sunscreen, lady? It's like, what in the, I mean, it's so idiotic. I can't even believe it. So, no matter what you think of my fucking skin, no matter if you think I'm fucking old, no matter if you think girls are stupid, no matter what the fuck you think, if my teeth are jacked up, if my fucking hair's a mess. That one guy told me, go comb your hair. Okay, so I need to comb my hair to have an opinion? Is that how it rolls with you? I swear to God, I just can't even believe how fucking ludicrous some of these people are. So you think because you think my skin's too dark, too leathery, too whatever the fuck you think, that I don't have a right to opinion? I don't give a fuck what my skin looks like. I have a fucking right to an opinion, so shut the fuck up. It's so crazy too. They come in on you. It's your fucking thing that you're talking about your thing, and they come in and start telling you like you don't have any right. It's like, go out and post your opinion somewhere. It's like, as a matter of fact, I wasn't trying to draw you guys in. I was trying to talk to other people. People who were like, yeah, I know, it's a little crazy. So you feel less crazy. But then one thing is so you stop feeling like the whole world is completely insane. Because it feels like the world is so insane sometimes. It's like, what the fuck, man? But then they just come at you like it is insane. It is insane. You're not allowed to speak. You're a woman. You're too old. You're too. Your skin needs sunblock. That kind of shit too. It's like, because you want to slather yourself in poison, and you want to stay out of the sun, for God's sakes, the sunlight hurt me. And then you want to fucking put that out on other people. And then the fact that all these women all wear makeup all the time, and so men obviously don't even know what skin looks like anymore. They're just, I don't know, it doesn't look right to me. Where's the foundation? Like, we're all supposed to look like dolls? Like, look at your fucking skin, dude. Like, fuck off. I just can't even believe, like, and there was, when I would go on and look at some of the accounts, a lot of them were old men. And I've heard lots of women talking about old men coming up to them and saying stuff in places, out in public. And I would always think, weird. But, and then it kind of seems like, are they all just like, I don't know, it seemed weird, but then when you go in and look, and it's like all these old men. It's like, what in the world? Especially when when they'll sit there and say something about your age, and it's like you go look at them and they're older than you. It's like, shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's like, my God. An old liberal man is like, go take your panties off and put on some big boy pants or something. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't get it. They just don't. They don't seem very, like, is it an overcompensation to be masculine is to be a dick? Because a true masculine would be somebody who is more of a protector, not somebody who is just needs to oppress other people. Like that is like, I don't know, because it's like a calculated way of controlling the people and using a masculine force to oppress others. And they've used it over and over and over. The creation of armies, the battle zones, the keeping women and children in their place. You know, even when women started being able to step up and have a voice, then, I mean, when I grew up, it was kids are meant to be seen, not heard. Like, you were just supposed to shut the fuck up. You know, and if an adult walked in the room and you were sitting in a chair, you better move your ass out of that chair. It was just so different. And then it kind of swings going the other way, where now kids are just like, it's like the opposite. These fucking flies, man. Yesterday I had a bee that started coming in and was going on my honey. It just kept going in, just eating my honey. Which I was like, God, that's kind of sad. And then, so it kept coming in, go over, get on it, then it would leave. And then a little while later, it would come back, and then it would leave. And then it just kept doing it and doing it. And then once it was started getting dark, I was like, well, fuck, man. I've got to do something. I'm going to be up here in the morning grabbing my honey and get stung by this fucking bee. So I took everything up and cleaned it off. I don't know where it went. It was weird because I was trying to get water for the dogs and the water thing burped and the bee would go crazy and stuff. And I was like, fuck. So I kept jumping back, you know, and then, so then I was like, okay, I got to take all this honey, all this stuff up there and just wash it off, get all the honey smell off of it. And so I went to go do that, and I was thinking, man, bees are smart. It's able to find its way in through the net, go to the exact same place, get what it wants, and then leave. And I don't know, I mean, it's weird right now that we're even having bees. There hasn't been any bees all summer, and then all of a sudden in the past couple weeks, I keep running into bees. And it's not like there's tons and tons, where it makes me think, is this just a government, whatever, like they open the door for 100,000 bees and 100,000 government bees are out here or something? Which they would make ones that are like attack bees. So I was thinking about, like, you know, it's just strange that we have these bees at the end of summer when I haven't been seeing bees all summer. And then always in summertime, always by the end of summer, the bees would get really aggressive. And then you'd be sitting, like if you were trying to have a picnic, the bees would be landing on your food and just going crazy, like they were starving to death or something. And so it kind of seems like that. Like, is there nothing in no flowers that have anything? Like, isn't it where they normally get all their food is out of the flowers? And now all of a sudden they're like freaking out, which is always weird when they come and land on your food anyways. It's like, I don't know, can they not see that it's, you know, food? Is it just smell good? Like, I don't know, what the fuck. And so anyways, I was thinking it was just strange. And I was thinking about all the things that were strange about it. And then I come down and put my stuff up, and I'm covering things with plastic and stuff. So to try and mask the smell. And I'm thinking, man, it's going to know, like, how it has like it's decided this is where it eats from, and now it's going to just keep coming back and coming back. And so I did all that stuff, and then I was sitting here looking on TikTok, and then I saw this guy do this video, and he said bees and dragonflies are multidimensional beings that can change from dimension to dimension by vibration. And I was like, that is so weird, because it was like when the water burped and the bee jumped back, and I jumped back because I thought the bee was gonna sting me, and it did, just like it disappeared. Because a lot of the time throughout the day, it could come in. I would be like, how the fuck did it get in here? And I would think, okay, well, it must be around the net, and then the dogs come in and it just goes with the dogs. But then when it wants out, it'll be going around the net trying to figure out how to get out. And so I'll just open it and let it out. And but it was just like, it was just gone. It was just disappeared. And I went over to the net. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, what in the hell? I was looking around everywhere. But I don't know, maybe they just can. Sometimes squirrels look like they don't have the same parameters in this dimension as we do. Like, we see a fence and we think, well, we can't get through the fence. But the squirrels don't do that. They just run right through it. And I'll be like, that is so weird, because I've seen this so many times. It's like, are they just running real fast and they know right where an opening is and they just dive and just keep running? Or, because that's what I used to think over at my house. And I would watch them and I would be like, how are they doing that? And then when I've seen them over here, because I see them doing the same thing. And it's like, are they running and then they dive through a hole in the fence and then they just keep running? Because it happens so fast that it just looks like they just run through the fence and keep going. And it makes me think, like, you know, the parameters of our own vision, of our own, like our own making. Like, if we didn't think about the fence holding us back, then we would just go. It's like, it doesn't. But then there's other things. Okay. Yeah. Because I was going to say about, like, deers in the street and cars. Why don't the cars just go through them then? But then, like, as soon as the thought came in my mind, it was like, well, they got to get a way out. So the answer was, when they get hit in the road, it's their exit. It's so they can get out of this realm. And so it's everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, even though it can seem like so horrible to us. But I wonder if a lot of animals don't have the same thing, even if we put things up. Like, I know we can cage animals, so it's not like, you know, we put them in a zoo and then they just walk through the walls. But I don't know. There's just something weird. It's just weird. Just watch the squirrels and watch them go. How they can just, it looks like they just run straight through a fence and keep going, like the fence isn't even there. It's the weirdest thing. But anyways, I don't know what happened with that bee, but it just seemed like right after and I saw that guy say that, it did make me think, like, did it just change its vibration and it was just out of this place and somewhere else? Which, there's a new movie coming out. I saw the commercial. How did I see the commercial? Oh, because I was watching that fucking reunion of that show. So I saw commercials. And there was a commercial for this new movie. And let me think who's in it. Seems like it's Ryan Gosling is in this movie. And some girl. Oh, maybe it's Robbie or Bobby or whatever, the Barbie girl. Maybe it's them too, Barbie and Ken. And now they're in this other movie. I don't know. Maybe that's who it is. But anyways, it's a commercial for this new movie. It's supposed to be out, and maybe it's going to be out in September. But maybe it's going to be out later in November or something. But it is, I can't remember what it's called. But it is about going through a portal. Because there's a door that's down in the middle of nowhere, and they're going to go through. Because that's real. And they keep introducing these concepts more and more in the movies because it's like disclosure. It's like the truth. It's like we're open to it more. Maybe, you know, they put this stuff in movies, but we were so closed off, like it's the movies, but we're open more. And so now it's just like the truth is all around you. But anyways, they've got it in shows, they've got it in movies, everything just keeps showing. So this one now I'm kind of interested in seeing it. But it's something about going through a portal and going into different experience or falling in, I don't know. It was hard to tell just off of the thing. But anyways, hold on. There's a weird thing that I saw yesterday too. And so this person was showing all these movies, which I don't know, I'd say maybe 25 to 30, maybe there was 40 movies that all have the same date that something changes on Earth. That a lot of them were like, it's the end of the world on this day. And some of the movies, I can say some of the names of some of the movies. As soon as I start to say them, then it's like, because it was not Bruce Almighty, but it was the one with Carell when he's talking to God. Maybe he's Moses or Noah or something. And so they have that date, which is September 22nd or 23rd. You need to have this done because the water is going to come up. And then there's one with Nicolas Cage where he's doing all these dates. And he starts realizing these dates were, I think it's called knowing. I guess in 23, there's something where he says something about the date. There's that movie with Seth and Franco and all those young comedian guys that did that movie about the earth ending, and it was real wacky. I can't remember what it's called. You keep hearing The Day the Earth Stood Still, but that's not it. That's an older movie. But anyways, it was that one, has that date. That there was a whole shit ton of them. And they all have the same date, September 22nd and 23rd. And so now it's like, okay, so we're getting close to that date. Is that the date that something big is going to happen that's going to change everything? Because in a lot of the movies, they make like it's the end of times. It's the end of something. And but even if the earth were to blow up, which is not going to happen, it would... we the souls would continue, we would carry on, and then we would just create another place. So it's not, when they put that kind of stuff in movies, and then they have, I don't know, this thing that's flying through the air, it's coming towards us, maybe it's supposed to hit September 22nd, and then maybe it's going to cause a flood, maybe it's going to hit in the ocean, and it's going to cause a flood, maybe that's what's going to flood out the coastline, which now my granddaughter's right there. So fucking stressful. Nobody listens. You know, it's not like I can say, well, the disaster is coming, you gotta get her off the coast. No. It's like, okay, crazy grandma. So crazy grandma's just gotta let it go. So, and know whatever's supposed to happen, supposed to happen. You can't control it, and you can't be in fear of it. And, but this thing that's coming towards us now is suddenly grown horns. So, I don't know, this stuff is all so ridiculous. It's just so crazy. But I couldn't believe in all these movies that they kept showing, all these little scenes from all these movies, how they all said September 22nd, September 23rd, September. They didn't say what year it was, but now we're almost to that date. And there is a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot. This was kind of funny. This was a news person. Hold on. I can't remember exactly how she said it. I'll have to think. I don't think I'll say exactly the way she said it. But so she's talking about DC, because now he's gone and he's cleaned up this shit. And DC used to be like the worst at crimes. And now, you know, they're going to Chicago to clean that one up. Which I don't know if they're already in the action or if it's just all this, because you got the governors like, oh, we're not letting him come here. We're not letting him bring his National Guard. It's like, Yeah, because you want to keep the crime and stuff. So, because the crime, it is a part of the whole trade industry. So, they need that to keep going. And when it's not having to do with influence over that, then it has to do with a distraction and keeping us in fear and stuff. So, they got to let the crime be rampant. So Donald has cleaned up DC now. So this news report was, she was saying, yeah, it used to be like 85. I'm not even sure about the numbers, so you can't quote me on that. But something like there used to be like 85, a murder a day, or 85 different crimes every day, like horrible things happening all day long. And now over the past week or week and a half, whatever, since he's went in with his big action, there hasn't been any. And she goes, are you fucking kidding me? Or something, right on the news. And she was like, she said fucking about like, it's unfucking believable or something. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, it was funny. Because, yeah, it's, I don't know if it's the, because there's ones like Coffee Joe or whatever, like those people are going to be in panic mode, like these certain ones that have gone against, but some of them are already taken down too. Some of them are just like some kind of clone or actor in a mask acting like these people. But there's so many news people are just on a script. So anyways, it was just funny to see this one have like a natural reaction. And so anyways, I just thought that was funny. But now we have this date is coming up. So I was already looking like, where am I going to be on that date? And I would think that I'm going to be here packing is what I would be doing. But I don't know. I guess remains to be seen what's going to happen. But whatever happens, if this thing with horns that's flying towards us is gonna hit into, it could hit into a big city. There was something that happened in a city yesterday, an explosion or something. I don't remember, maybe it was St. Louis or someplace. And then people were feeling it all the way in Illinois. And I saw a woman talking about it, and she's like, I just want to know what the hell happened. What the hell blew? Like, and there's people that were injured and stuff. So I don't know. They can set that stuff off so easy. It's like there's things around in every city that they can blow and start these huge fires at any time and just create chaos. And so any of that stuff can go all the time. Just the same way that they can fly around and act like they're aliens that are coming here to kill us. They've got places set up so they could laser beam some tire place that's in town that nobody really pays attention to, but those things are really fire hazards. And so they could laser one of those and start a huge fire. And then I'm sure that they have those like close to other things that, firecracker warehouse or something. So explosives. So it's all set up for this stuff. It's nothing happens by accident. When they do stuff that is bad towards us, it's not by accident. None of this is by accident. Yesterday, I was gone to watch dogs, and we were talking about some different stuff. And she, so she was an engineer at the water place. Her husband was an engineer at the water place. She went out and she did something different that was less engineering, but her husband, he was somebody who was a part of engineering, like how the water treatment works, like what they do to treat the water so we can drink it. And I said, well, it really grosses me out. We flush the toilet and then they put it through a faucet for us to drink. And she's like, oh no, it's not like that. And so then she started explaining to me how it works. And so it's like they take we flush the toilets, Then the water goes into these water treatment, goes through the sewage system, goes into these water treatments. So, goes into a creek or something, and it goes down into the water. But down when it goes down into the ground to clean it and make it water again, that it has some kind of interference with the salt water, and so there's this battle going under there. I couldn't even understand all this stuff, but so there's some kind of battle going down under there, and then so that does something to the water table or something, and so then they have to pull that water back out, which causes the other water to come in or something. And so then, which I would think we would want the salt water because it's got the minerals, but they sit there and say, we can't just drink salt water, it would dehydrate you. But if you're going to be using all this other treatment stuff, then why, why can't you figure out that? Like, the ocean's full of water, it's full of minerals. And so then they, they put the water back and go through all this metamorphosis, osmosis, and crap to get it to come out of the faucet. And so to me, I'm still hearing like, okay, so still, we flush the toilet and just reuse the same fucking water. And I'm like, well, it seems like we need to be using, like we all need wells or something. And then she said, yeah, but when you go down and you put a well down and then another person puts it in, another person puts it in, it's like we're all coming out of the same water thing and it depletes that water. I said, well, there's got to be something. She said something that is where we pull the water from the atmosphere. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what scientists should be working on, stuff like that, rather than, function and gain and stuff like that. Just focus on how to fucking make us sick. But that's where they make their money. And you do something that's good, then you end up going missing. So, but she was saying about pulling the water that way. And I said about the energy and stuff, because she was saying petroleum's best way. Well, I'm like, well, I think Tesla, but a lot of people don't see what's coming. They don't know a part of the GESAR that has like 6,000 patents. It has all these patents for all this technology that's going to be good for us, but that they had blocked it because it was going to be good for us. And so if that is a way to start getting water, is to pull it from the atmosphere or something. But to me, it's also like, well, why wouldn't we just, I mean, tribes were able to make it by being around water sources. Why wouldn't we just, all have our own water source then? Why wouldn't we all just, dig a pond in our yard and have our water come out of that? Because it can refill from the rain. I mean, you got all this rain that can go in and flood whole fucking towns. And it can just wash away towns. You can just open a dam, but you're telling that there's a water short, that we got a problem with water. And then also in this conversation, then I was like, well, what about during the sickness? All of a sudden they said, oh, well, now, because we were also talking about that video I had sent about the PFAS and about the farms of the land and stuff like that. And so we were talking about all of these forever chemicals stuff. And so I said, well, what about after the sickness? Then they said that they couldn't get rid of the sickness in our drinking water now because it was coming through the toilet and going through the process. But still, when we put our cup under there to get a little swig of the water coming out of our faucets, they couldn't get rid of the medications that people are on or the sicknesses that people have. And she said, well, they can't get rid of everything. And I said, well, what's up with all of this? They put all these arsenics and all this stuff in the water. And she said, well, that's kind of an individual city, what they do. And I said, well, what about something with the sickness and medicine thing? And she said, they can't do anything about that. And the people who are on treatments like CHEMO, they destroy their own septic. Think about this. This is what I was thinking about. I don't know, in the middle of the night or something. I was thinking about, okay, so the CHEMO destroys the septic. They can't do anything to remove it out of the toilet water coming back into our drinking water, that so what the people excrete, then they can't clean it out, and so it goes through this osmosis metamorphosis into drinking water, and then but that stuff destroys septic systems. And the thing is think about, this is what got me. I was like, oh my God, think about how many fucking people are on that. Like, think of the repercussions of, like, we sit here and think like, oh, they're making everybody sick, but they look how they can make us all sick by those people being sick. Is that same thing as where people were like all freaking out over the shutting. It's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Micro, macro, we're all shedding. But that now if all these people are sick, so they get them all sick, they put them on the CHGMO, and then they all are taking it, which destroys all of this system, this osmosis system or whatever the fuck. It destroys their own septic system. If they're on septic system, they got to get it pumped and stuff often to get the stuff out. Well, where's that stuff going? Into the sludge? Right into our food? Like, what the fuck? It's so fucking crazy. This fucking thing about chemicals and stuff, it's so fucking crazy. And I still, because there's all this stuff going on with Donald and the getting the, we gotta get the drugs cheap now. It's like, yeah, but what we want is a society that doesn't need drugs. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's so aggravating. But see how it's like baby steps. Because first you got to give them what they need, and they all think they need it. But what they need to do is change their lifestyles and start taking better care of themselves. It's like, go drive through Jack in the Box 10 times a fucking week, and then you need I need my blood pressure medicine, I need my heart medicine, I need this, I need that. It's like, well, you could just make some simple changes, and then you wouldn't need all that shit. Well, I just need it, and I need it cheap. It's like, okay, whatever. It's like people's own ignorance in their own lack of caring for themselves is going to do themselves in. Because you can simply change your lifestyle and take better care of yourself. But anyways, in our society, our current society, this is what we have. Oh, you just take these, take them for everything. And slowly you will die. And slowly you will kill the rest of us, because then you're leaking it out in the fucking sewage system, and it's going right into our fucking drinking water, going right into the fucking sludge, into our fucking food and all this shit. So but then I was like, how much, because they've already said all these medications that cross the blood-brain barrier. So all these psych meds, all these certain meds that do that they can't do anything about them coming through through our water. So they come into our drinking water. And so everything that everybody's around you that is on, you're on it too. And so and I don't know the amount, but when you think about how many people, like, there's so many people, like in Washington State, which that was another thing too. Besides the fact I need to hurry and get back to my Fox TV. I need to hurry. In my shit ass state that I live in, I was constantly like, you live in a red state. It's like, no. I live in a blue state. And not only that, I was a blue supporter for my whole fucking life. So these people are so fucking stereotypical, generalized, biased. They don't even fucking think for themselves. Like, nobody could change parties just because you guys are so fucking trapped in this fucking matrix. Nobody else can wake up and think for themselves. And these people just don't. They just don't think for themselves. They just believe what they're told to believe. And then they are so generalized. Like, it's so ridiculous. The same shit that they say over and over and over and over. And that has been all the way since back when I was on Twitter. I was saying that all the way back then. It's like, even when I would say it to them, I was like, do you have any new lines? You just say the same thing as each of you are just on a script. You just say the same shit over and over and over. God damn. And they don't know. Because if they talk to each other, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Somebody, it's so fucking ridiculous. And then I'll just generalize and say something stupid ass shit too. So whatever. It's just weird. The whole thing's weird. These wussy little old men fucking talking shit to you. Like, come up to me in person then and say something. But then you have these women who say they do. They come up and say shit to them in person. So there's whacked out. I don't know. But anyways, because the women, the ones that would go and look and it seemed like it was really a woman or whatever, they're not so aggressive and in your face. They'll say shit, but not so, you know, like, go get on your sunblock and go comb your hair. It's like, fuck the fuck off. Why didn't you go grow some hair? Why don't you go lose some weight? Go to the gym. Take better care of yourself, you obnoxious fucker. So, God, see, I can just get so bitch ass too. We've all got a little bitch ass in us, so. But but anyways, so, it's like the fall of the creation of our society, kind of like of how they're going to take care of us. Just like how the railroad tracks are falling apart, the bridges are falling apart, the dams are falling apart, their water treatment systems are falling apart. So now we're all getting blasted with all of these fucking chemicals and shit. And, you know, who fucking knows? Who fucking knows, really, how many fucking chemicals are inside of us and what it is we're fighting? And we all think, well, we're sick because they tell us that we're sick. No, we're fucking being blasted by bullshit and chemicals non-fucking stop. And then it just is, you can't even keep up. You can't even keep up. You know, you'd have to quit breathing and quit drinking things and quit eating anything at all, which seems like a good idea. I swear to God, there's so many times. Not, you have to keep breathing. Which that fucking shit too. Fucking just, you shouldn't see the fucking air. Yesterday when I drove and I was driving out, it's like, you see, just like when I was living in California. And I was like, what is this air thing? What is this dark stuff? Because you can see it. And oh, well, that's the smog. Oh, it's the smog. We just accept it. It's the smog. It's like, so you have the smog. It just is this whole chemical fucking atmosphere that just sits on the city and we just breathe it in. Like that's acceptable. And smog is just it's bigger, and now most cities have the smog. But when you drive out and you see, especially when the atmosphere is pushing down, which we have a whole bunch of different atmospheres out there right now, but it's pushing down and then you just see it all come down. And it's a fucking color. It's like this orangish color of this whole atmospheric bubble over the city. And we're all just breathing this shit in. So we're breathing in shit non-fucking stop all day. Then drink any water, you're fucked. Eat any of the food, you're just sludged out. Like you got the PFAS, you got every fucking else thing. So, and you have Soylent Green because they're spraying fucking dead people. And what had killed them? Like, how rotten were they? What all dead, decaying shit are we eating? This whole fucking, this whole civilization that we are presently in is decaying. And it is like, but it's a period of time. So that's the thing. You can't sit here and think like it's the end of mankind. No, it is a period of time. And these are the things that happen in this period of time. And this period of time is ending. And this period of time was being run by these vamps over here, these fucking, the Draco, whatever, whoever you want to think is fucking running it. Guarantee you, it's got the Fellers of Rock and the Children of the Roths. So it's got these groups of big money who have been in charge of the world. And you think, how could these people get so much in charge of the world? Well, because they've been here for a long fucking time. And they create these fucking worlds. They create these cities. And then they blast these masculine energy into oppressive, fighting, like, the gladiators or something. Like, who in their right mind is gonna go in and fight to the death? It was like, because they're fucking people up and making them. They're taking a certain energy and whacking it out, just like right now, how the feminine energy, the birthing of men, the birthing of our world, the everything that comes through the woman, and you have all these women who want to destroy. It's like they don't want anything to do with it. It's like everybody's so cut off from the truth of what the world is meant to be. And so it's completely out of whack. People are completely whacked out, and it's the end of that. So this era, this time period is what's ending, and it is going out with a bang. I mean, how could it even keep going? It's falling apart. Like, they sit there and blame the dams breaking is why these cities are flooding out. They trains derailing because these fucking tracks were, I don't know, who knows when they were even fucking made. Everything they tell us is lies and bullshit, so I don't fucking know. Just everything in this civilization, like, that they've given us is our way of life, is all blowing the fuck up. And just no wonder the water that we drink would become so disgusting and full of chemicals and stuff, because they use chemicals to counter the other chemicals. So you seriously, if you go on to different cities and their water, the people who watch it, who try and tell us that it's healthy or whatever, you can go into it and you can see what is in your water. So you can put in like your zip code, and you can see what they use in your water or what's high in it or whatever. And there's tons of like arsenic. I think when I looked it up at my other house of what was in mine, it wasn't as bad, because I was at that point there was a lot of people looking it up, so I knew what the website was. I can't think of it right now, but I had two things that were too high, but I can't remember what they were. Seems like it was carbon or something. It was some fucking chemical. But there was two of those, and then there was one of something else. But some people had like 13, some people had like 21. So you have these other fucking poisonous things that are in your water, and some people have a shit ton of them. And then all of the stuff that they take. So in Washington State, like, fuck, I swear to God, I bet you it is like 8 or 9 out of 10 people are on some kind of antidepressant, or everybody's on medication. Everybody's on medication. And then you have so many people who are all depressed, or taking something for attention deficit, taking something for their depression, their hormones, their just everything. And so all of that stuff is going back into our water. It's like some of these places that you would be living, it would be like you would be getting just blasted with all the medications that everybody else is taking. I would say probably like in the Midwest, when you got these farmers who don't go and they don't, like, they'll take better care of themselves, they don't go and just get on all these medications. Because I saw this ambulance guy or something, and he was talking about, because when he lived or when he was working like in the Midwest or something, and he said the farmers, they don't just call you for any old thing, like and he had went, I didn't listen to the whole thing, because I know, like, farmers, they'll fucking cut their hand off while they're out working. They'll just wrap it up and just go in and make a fucking hook for their hand or something. They're just not the same as like these city guys, which I just saw this girl. She was talking about that her and her husband had moved way out in Missouri or something to a homestead. They had 10 acres. They've been living out there 10 years. And she's like, we're done. We sold it. We're out. And she was telling the reasons why. And I'll tell you that in a sec. But so this farmer guy, he had, a cow had fallen on him or something, or backed him up. He had gotten really hurt. And so then he drug himself. I don't remember if his leg got chopped off, something, some big thing. But he drug himself from the barn into the house. Like, these guys are resilient as fuck. Just go look up about farming accidents and those stories. It's crazy as shit. But so I was saying some of those places, if you were around a lot of them, they probably aren't taking every medication. But in a place like this, in a blue place, where there's the highest percentage of people are living and they're super depressed because it rains all the time and it's too crowded and everybody's disconnected. That's one thing that people complain about and move to Seattle all the time, is people are just super snobby and they're just disconnected. They're not friendly. You walk through the streets and you're hi, and they just walk on by. They don't give a fuck. And so there's just a disconnect. It's not like a community. I mean, you can go find a community in certain places. Like you could go there and get involved in music. A bunch of people who are really into music, which Burning Man, I guess, is having a bunch of weird shit going on. Which there's another one of those big cloud sandstorm things going through Arizona. And Burning Man is in the desert. I don't remember which, somewhere over by Nevada, Arizona, or Southern California or something, I'm pretty sure. But so wherever it is, has some big fucking weird storm going through it. But there was a guy who was prophesizing a few months ago. So I think his was in March or something. He was making a prophecy about Burning Man, and he said, don't go to Burning Man 2025. There's going to be a horrible thing that's going to happen. A lot of people are going to die. And he was saying, because it's evil, don't be going there. It's I don't know, people are always like Satan kind of thing, but their whole ceremony of the Burning Man, which is weird because in that movie, it was also Nicolas Cage, Wicker Man. I think there's an older version. I think Nicolas Cage was in the remake, but Wicker Man, where they burn, it is a ritual where they burn this big wicker man thing, and then but they put a person in it to be the offering, and which there's a whole thing about Burning Man that every single one that somebody dies. And so there's, weird and conspiracy speculation over, are they putting it inside like, what the fuck is weird? It's weird. And like all the drugged out people dancing around and bringing the energy, and not all of them would know, but there would be certain ones that would know what's going on. And if they do, somebody dies or somebody is purposely dies, then they take them, or maybe they die in the thing. Maybe they just drug them up and they put them in there, and then they start the thing on fire, and then they have all these people out there dancing and cheering, just like I don't know, it's creepy. It's creepy how many people are involved in these rituals and don't even think about it, because it's driving and there's something inside them getting something from it. And but anyways, he said that this Burning Man, there was going to be a bunch of people are going to be killed, and it's something bad is going to happen. And then I had seen a video before I saw his video. I saw a couple of videos saying Burning Man is a mess and there's this big storm going through. And then I saw another video where a guy was in a tent and he said, I'm at Burning Man and something weird's going on. And that was his whole video. But I don't know, kind of Blair Witch-ish. So I don't know, it could be just a fake thing. But anyways, I just thought, well, that's interesting. because this guy had made this whole prophecy, and I know that there is some kind of storm going, so I don't know. Everything's going to keep falling apart. Everything's going to keep going crazy. But anyways, there is like groups you could get involved with, go out and find your people, but I don't know. I just don't think it's like the same kind of connections as what we really want. I think there's like, I don't know. We want more, like, our healthy side of our soul wants to feel more connected to the other souls. Wants to feel like, I don't know, it makes things make more sense when we are more connected. When we're disconnected, it keeps us kind of in this upheaval. This, where do I fit in? Where do I belong? What is this place? Why am I here? And so she's so uncomfortable. I keep on thinking it's got to be because she fell the other day. Because we went out for a walk, and then over here where this catio thing is, so they go walking over there. You could smell the cats. They were walking over there, and as soon as she sees a cat, she tries to run up to the catio thing. But the ground, like I said, over there is like a sand thing. So you try and go up it, the ground just gives out underneath you. So she started just trying to run up it, and the ground gave out, and she just slid down and fell. And so I think she hurts herself so easy, and so she'll go out and run around, and then she will be really sore because her hips and her arthritis. But I think it's her hips. And I'm gonna try and wash again. I was telling the groomer lady, I said, I said there'll be like 24 hours or 12 hours or something, and she'll smell good. I said, but I feel like I still got to go into one of those vets if they can do an internal discharge of the anal gland or whatever. And she said, well, I bet you it's, something more of infection or bacteria smell. And I said, which could be, whatever the vet had told me when she was little, she had this weird thing with her vagina thing, where however their urine comes out. I think I don't know. I don't know all the anatomy, but she has this place that it's like a lip around. It reminds me of like when I was trying to give birth and they said my cervix wasn't opening all the way, and they had to pull it open, which hurts like a bitch. But so it seems like it's that, like there's a trapped place in here, where like a fold where not everything comes out. But it's really hard to get in there and wash. She's big, so it's really hard. I need to get her in a bathtub and let her soak in there or something. So anyway, she gave me some more soap to try, and so I'm going to try and give her another bath today and see. But she said because the smell goes away there for a while, she said, I bet you it's something more like that. So I'm going to try that, but she's just so uncomfortable. It sucks, man. And anyway, she's just getting up and moving, and at the same time she's getting up and moving, there's this smell that comes that's probably is like, and which would also make you uncomfortable if you have kind of like a little kid who doesn't wipe good, and then they're complaining, Mom, my vagina, they don't usually say vagina, my whatever hurts, and then you go look and see, and it's all red and inflamed because they're not wiping good, and the pee just goes up there and just keeps burning and burning and burning. So, Burning Man. So, anyways, I don't know. I still got to see that because I got to be the doctor, the nurse, the fucking diagnoser, the everything. God, you got to do everything. And if you don't, and you go and have them do it for you, it doesn't. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone for every time I take her. It's all I get back because they want her to put her on medication because it all has to do with her hips. It's, well, she's got hip dysplasia and she's got arthritis, and it's just gonna get worse. And it's every fucking time. I've paid thousands of dollars for that shit. Or they want to knock her out, which is going to cost a couple $1,000s, so they can go do more testing. And what do they want to do when they figure out? Just put her on more medication. So it's like, in that all those things, they will destroy your liver. Like, you can go and check and see. And she refuses them. It's like she can smell that stuff and she will not take it. And which to me is like, if she doesn't want to take it, then that shows me it's not good for her. So anyways, that's my opinion about it. But anyways, yesterday, besides the talking about the water and the forever chemicals and all that stuff, I was getting the it's so many. And I know, religious people think that they're really sharing the word and stuff like that, but it's like, it's one thing if you're asking and you're like, you want to know about their friend Jesus. Tell me more about Jesus. Tell me more about the Savior of all things and all that stuff. That's one thing. But when you're not asking and they're just giving it, and it's like, but I don't want to be rude to somebody and hurt their feelings. But see, this is where boundaries come in too, which is very gray area where you have to really decide, where your boundaries are. How, am I going to make sure this person knows, don't you ever talk to me about that again? It's like, you got to decide where you're comfortable for yourself and how you feel. And a lot of times I'm always just like, I wish that they could see and understand I'm way, way different than what they think. And I've told her, a few times I'm spiritual, but a lot of people have no idea what that means. And she keeps talking to me about the real and what a magnificent place, and getting to go where Jesus went or something. I don't even know. And but so she was telling me about that. And so I said, well, because that's one place she'd really like to go back to. And I said, well, I really want to go to Egypt. And I didn't say, because the pyramids is what I'm interested in. I've been interested since I was a kid, because, that holds more truth to us as a civilization than any of this other stuff. And, but then there was like, oh, well, there's these certain movies, certain stories, and you got to go watch these, you got to watch this. It tells the real truth of Jesus and his stuff, of his journey and all that stuff. It's like, what the Bible says. And then, like I said, the music the whole time is, you're not worthy, just love Jesus. Jesus is the way to salvation. You want to be worthy, just Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And it's like, oh my God. That is, luckily, a lot of my stuff is noisy. Is washing, so the water's blasting. And then when I'm drying, the dryer's blasting, because that stuff drives me crazy. Sitting there telling you you're not worthy and the only way is Jesus and stuff like that. It's like, I grew past that when I was in my teens, man. I left the church when I was like 19. It was where I was like, no, church isn't for me. And you get blasted, man. People think you are crazy, that you don't even believe in God. It's like, well, our ideas of God and what this place is very different. And that's the thing, but it's so different. And it's like, it's not to the point of being accepted. And it's weird to most people. So, but that is kind of more like yesterday when I was getting all this, like, I don't know, it's not like a lecture, but it's like something, I don't even know what to call it, but where I'm just sitting there thinking, I wish that you knew me or understood me better, because you wouldn't be talking about this stuff. Wish you understood the things that I look at, the things that I see and stuff. And it also is so weird is because they all think, they've got to go through this third party, to get to heaven or something. And I have such a different perspective. And I believe my perspective is the real perspective of what's real. And theirs is created to keep people trapped spiritually. And so to me, it's like the things that I just say would probably be beneficial to them, but they're resistant. They don't want to hear it. Believe you me, like I can't even get through to my own mom. So she thinks I'm a kook. So it's not like you can go and talk to anybody who's religious and get them to hear anything that's outside of that realm of thought. That it's like they don't think about energy. I mean, just the whole thing of like the soul is this vague kind of thing. It's like, no, it's your consciousness. It's what batteries you. It's what gives you life. It's what and who you are. This is an illusion. But that's what's so weird, because it's so flipped on them. This is all real, and the soul is this vague thing, but you don't want to take any chances. So you got to make sure you're on the right side with Jesus, because that's the only way out of here. And it's like, and then the way that they get so in the hierarchy, well, if you don't believe, you're burning in hell forever. It's like, man, so you really think like the God that would be that kind of God is worth your adoration? Is worth your what is that when you are just all in for that kind of stuff? So anyways, that's where I was like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, I wish that they could understand the stuff that I say. And because I have no interest. I mean, that to me is like going backwards. I'm going to go and follow it. It's so backward to me. And it's such a long time ago since I walked away from it. And I've been on my own journey for a long fucking time. And when you go on your own journey into your own, your own righteousness, your own belief system, your own, it's your own path, it's what's real. And this is like keeps people trapped in like the sense of worship or whatever. Like you can't get out. And then what's weird to me too is it's got to be blasting all the time. It's got to be going all the time. Like it just blows my mind. Like my mom sleeps with the TV on. What do you think is on it the whole time? Because somehow she's signed into my YouTube, and so it comes on my thing, and I see what it is. And when I very first was coming across my thing, I was like, where in the world is this coming from? This preacher all fucking night long. And I was like, this is so weird. Where's this coming from? But then I figured it out. It's because somehow she signed into my YouTube, which I have no idea how. I need to go sign her out of it and sign her into her own or something. But so on the TV all night while she's sleeping, well, some of the time she's awake, and then she'll sit and listen to the sermons too, but all night long, and then all day long, and then the music, and then it's like, oh my God, why has it got to be just constant? And then when I go over there, the groomers, the music, and then that's what, there's certain channels, like how spiritual people have a Gaia channel. There's these channels, the angel channel or something. And then it's just watch that all the time. Well, even as a spiritual person, I don't just go watch the Gaia channel. I haven't watched the Gaia channel. I don't even know if there's new seasons. I haven't watched the Gaia channel in years, and I haven't even gone through all the different things on that channel. I've only seen a few shows off of it. I watched the Matías de Stefano for, I think, 3 seasons, and then I've seen a couple of random shows throughout the years. Cosmic Disclosure, I swear to God, Cosmic Disclosure was on